The downfall in defense, which has created an opportunity for many managers to go different directions. And for some assets, it's appetizing fixtures ahead. Welcome to yet another edition, Gameweek 6, in the back end of September of the FPL Addicts podcast for 25-26 season. And if you'll see tonight, we've got one tinker man, one who's just tried to throw the gauntlet when it comes to making transfers, used already. I mean, it's just someone who just doesn't know what they're doing. But without further ado, let's bring him in. Someone that starts with he's the Rev Naissance. I wanted to say that last week, but it was a last-minute pull-out. But now he is back with the greatest wallpaper across all of our members. And, of course, the beloved Marcello with the, I'm going to say, early 2000s Crystal Palace Playoff Championship logo. But to Rev, you first, how is life treating you?
Yeah, I'm not sure about my wallpaper. I think here in the studio, it's just the definition of all the gear and no idea, you know. So that's what we're doing. You can see in my description, my Wildcard is active today, but looking forward to this pod, getting some tips from you guys. Especially looking forward to Marcello's spreadsheet that's going to be looking ahead to some of the game weeks and the fixtures that we've got. I want to shout out a couple of people in the chat as well. Hello, Miriam. Always lovely to have you. Yes. And Gary there in the chat as well. Gary, we don't mention the derby, bro. It never happened. It never happened. Yeah.
Right. Marcello, good evening to you. How has life been treating you? Or you could say FPL.
Yeah, really good. I actually had my engagement party on Saturday, and that was fun.
Congratulations!
And we had a Bruno goal midway through, so I uploaded a picture eating my burger at the party in my suit, celebrating a Bruno goal at my engagement party. So yeah, good
priorities first.
Yeah.
This is how we do it. Yeah, I love it.
Right. Time for our league, because we talk about each week of usually being a different person who is leading from the front. But I think it's for the first time this season we've had the same leader back to back up the top. However, he's not in tonight, so we'll go straight to the bottom. In an unfortunate game week score for Marcello in 35 points, but the explanation is going to come all from him.
He's muted.
Bruno goal was actually the only goal of the week. I mean, Salah got his assist, which is nice since I captained him. And then everyone else just did absolutely nothing. I mean, this was my game week 1 team. So I rolled up to 5 transfers. Maybe I could have gone early with a few of those transfers, but, I had favourable fixtures there. Chelsea are a bit unlucky with all their nonsense that happened, and Sanchez getting sent off, Palmer getting subbed off, Watkins still not delivering, Murillo didn't play, Keane, Collins, none of my defenders getting DEFCON. What's going on? But luckily, Anderson was the first time he got DEFCON, and I didn't bench him, so that was nice, I guess. Should have played Dubravka over Sells, who's been thrashing him all season, which is something very interesting to think about. But yeah, it was a tough week. But again, I'm not too mad. I mean, ranked 5 million now
on paper.
It's not a bad team on paper, but I have made some transfers already, so I'll get to that soon. Yeah, I've got 5 transfers.
A high 5 of transfers.
Mini wildcards for me.
Yeah, very cool.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're just unfortunate there with this team, mate. I wouldn't think too deeply about it. And maybe that's just me with pure copium, because we're going to see my team next. And as you can see, I'm in a similar boat, 33 points. Obviously, the Isaac gamble not paying off, but, still, I moved from Watkins to Isaac, and we've got the same amount of points still. So I think it was a gamble, and I'd still do the same again. I think his ceiling is much higher. He's going to be playing, about 60, 70 minutes for the best attack in the league, statistically. And I feel like that's enough. So, yeah, I think the rest of it, the Sanchez red card, and all the rest of it, the Reinders 9-pointer on the bench is heartbreaking. But it is what it is, and I just have to move on really from this game week. I've got to leave a few of these players behind on my wild card. I think it was, in hindsight, a mistake to go without Erling Haaland. He's demonstrating that he can score against anyone, and Man City have got some great fixtures coming up. So now's the time, to bring in the Nordic Meat Shield.
Well, we look forward to seeing your side, Rev, on the other side, which will be revealed come later on, 33. But we all have our bad weeks.
And
I
just want to say, guys,
yes.
as well, chat as well. My wild card is active, and do stick around because I've not seen any content creator doing what I'm doing with my wild cards. I've not seen anyone do this. And I think the game has changed. The game has changed dramatically, and I don't think everyone has caught up with it yet. My question to everyone here is, have I gone too far with it? And I probably have, but that's my style. I like to be quite extreme with it. So look forward to revealing my team in a little bit, but do stick around with us as Charlie shows us his team.
Well, someone's calling me too far.
Yeah. Say again, mate.
You've DEFCON too far.
Yeah, DEFCON too far away.
Right. Here. Not too much better. It was okay. 47, above the average. I think a big standout is Senesi. Semenyo carries on his run of returns, this time getting DEFCON points. Reinders and then a Salah assist, but outside of that, really not much else. So, yeah, thanks for coming. Just got over the line with a green arrow. See what happens come Gameweek 6. Cheers, Ta.
Well done on the extra 2 Reinders DEFCON points, which he didn't actually deserve because they changed it down to 11 DEFCONs, but he kept the points. Did you notice that?
Oh, it was mental.
Which is even worse for Rev, who benched him.
Wow. I mean, that's my luck, though. Reidy and Chaza will tell you that I get insanely unlucky at this game. I do make some extreme choices, and maybe I do it to myself to an extent, but again, just I'm used to the pain. Used to it.
Now, usually I wouldn't go to the results tab. We won't go over results, but this shows a very interesting stat from the weekend. How in the previous game week, Game Week 4, we had 10 clean sheets, but for this one, it was just 2, with Senesi being part of one of the 2 sides to have kept a shutout. I want to ask you both, what was the cause of the downfall behind this? Because this was shown predominantly to a lot of sides where we just had to rely on 2 DEFCON points to make it a half respectable score for our sides.
I think it's simply a case of all of the good teams playing each other.
Yeah, and all the bad teams playing each other.
You look at Everton, who have, been all right going forward, and certainly a bit more of a defensively solid team going up against Liverpool, who are, the best attack in the league. You've got Leeds, Burnley, and Sunderland surprising the league so far. They're definitely not the worst teams. Arsenal and Man City do play each other. They are 2 teams that we would expect on any other given week to be able to come home with a clean sheet. Liverpool, again, someone similar. Chelsea as well, having a bit of a, I'm going to say a bit of a week with obviously the red card and the Palmer injury. They were not at full strength. They were a man down. Of course, they were going to concede. I think that for me is the explanation. I don't think it's anything necessarily to take fully out of context.
about you, Marcello? What's your take on it?
Yeah, I would agree. Exactly what you said. They all faced each other in the week before. What did we see? We actually had all the strong teams had very easy opponents. And I don't know if you want to share my screen. I made a little graphic in pre-season, and I kind of predicted this. So, yeah, this chart here kind of shows you a little calculation I did where it says higher number is the better teams have easier games. In game week 4, it sticks out like a sore thumb, well, but in green and not red. So this is where all the good teams play all the easier teams. This is from last year's table. And then when do we see that again? We see that in 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. We see this again here. And this is when we can expect like loads of clean sheets for the good teams again. And until then, there's some really, really low weeks where, maybe clean sheets are going to be a bit more hard to come by. And just for context, if you go to game week 13, this is what game week 13 will look like. You've got Man City, Bournemouth, Liverpool, Newcastle, Palace, Villa, Brentford at the top, and look at all these greens for these 5-week runs. Like, there's a lot of greens for the strong teams. And in game week 5, we just didn't see that. The teams at the top were, Wolves, Leeds, Tottenham, Bournemouth, and the teams at the bottom with red fixtures were Arsenal, Man City, Chelsea playing Man U, just like Rev said. So yeah, I think this is a really big thing to keep in mind when you look at fixtures coming up.
Well, on fixtures, just to complement what you just said, I think it's a good excuse to just flip a page. This is the fixtures we've got. Thank you, Marcello, for that. As per usual, pick one fixture, which it could be big from a football sense or even for FPL. And Rev looks like he could be on a roll tonight, so I'm going to start with you.
Yeah, I think the one of the main fixtures that I'm going to be looking towards is Newcastle versus Arsenal. I think Arsenal are very much a team that I've been looking forward to parking the bus every game, and I'm hoping that they do. As well, Newcastle have struggled a bit going forward, I would say. Newcastle also one of those teams which I think, when the fixtures turn, as Marcello said in game week 13, we all need to be looking at those Newcastle assets, especially if they continue in such a rich vein of defensive form, at least. So yeah, Newcastle versus Arsenal is something that I've got my eye on. A lot of FPL managers will be wondering about the availability of Bukayo Saka, and they will be possibly wildcarding in some Arsenal defensive assets as well, including Gyökeres as well, who has, I think an okay start to his Premier League career as well. So yeah, looking forward to watching that game.
Definitely. And the Arsenal fixtures do get a lot better after this week, but do you think this is such a bad week to bring in Arsenal attackers or defenders? What do you think the score will be in that one, lads?
1-1.
I genuinely would. I think it's just going to be 1-0 to Arsenal. I think that's going to be the way that game goes down. I think I just look at the way Arsenal set up, and it just reminds me of like peak Inter Milan, Jose Mourinho kind of style, Brexit football of just defending and keeping the ball.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's good for from a defensive point of view, and they are pretty nasty on the counter. So yeah, looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah.
Great options. I'm going to go Crystal Palace, Liverpool, both being the only two unbeaten sides in the league at the moment.
The mighty Palace.
Yeah, 5 wins and 5, but they can look a bit shaky. And for Palace, God, it's a good opportunity, isn't it?
Yeah, I think Sarr should be back this week as well, which he's been missed. We've been lacking a bit up front, I think, without him. Just got through with some Mitchell screamers and Mateta scoring, but yeah, bring back Sarr.
And don't bring back Ekitike because he's suspended.
See, this is the big brain thing. Like, I knew it was going to happen. That's why I bought in these. No, hindsight's a hell of a drug, isn't it? I think Arne Slot was so within his rights to say what he said about Ekitike. That is the most bizarre thing I've ever seen on a football pitch.
Do you think he's kind of doing it to send a message to Slot and say, like, you know, Isaac's about to come in the team, he's put his shirt up, he's like, don't forget about how well I've been playing recently? Or do you think
but don't forget the fact that you're already on a yellow card, you melt? Like...
It's kind of like he probably knew that Isaac was coming in, and it's like, you can't fire me, I quit.
Yeah.
I think that's what he's doing.
Legit, that is so exactly what's happening.
I think he knows what he was doing. He knows he was on a yellow, and I think he's done it on purpose. Like, fuck you for taking me out, for even thinking about taking me out, for even buying Isaac, because Ekitike wasn't cheap, was he? He was probably
he was like 68 mil, wasn't he?
He was hoping he'd be the main man all season, and now Isaac's coming in. Where does that leave Ekitike? He's probably regretting his decisions if he doesn't see much game time. Very interesting.
Yeah, it does do my head in a little bit. Like, maybe I was like really feeling for Federico Chiesa. Because I you know, whenever I attempt is the operative word to play football, you know, I like to play like out on the wings or just behind the striker, and I like to create goals. And it was just such a beautifully created goal. And for bro to just celebrate like Messi, you know, like I was like, bro, you're not him. You're not him, bro. Like
against Southampton in
the Carabao. Like, I understand, like, you know, where that celebration came from. You know, Messi was scoring a hat-trick against their biggest, gnarliest rivals ever. And Messi just showing the shirt, going like to the Madrid fans, like, you will never know this. You know, that was cold. But Ekitike's thinking about aura farming on TikTok against Southampton. I'm like, absolutely get in the bin. You know,
he must have seen Isaac start, and Isaac scored and did his knee slide celebration, didn't he? And he must have been which was a great celebration. But,
it is a great celebration.
If you're Ekitike sat on the back seeing that, you've got to be fuming with like, how has it come to this? But it's good competition. They'll both push each other.
But you can't pretend that you're Lionel Messi after the tap-in, can you? You just can't. It's absolutely mental. I can't believe I witnessed that. Like, what a terrible day to have eyes. You know, that was absolutely insane. I felt so bad for Chiesa because he did so much hard work. Like, Slot was right. Like, if you score that goal, you just run straight to Chiesa. And you're just like, thank you so much, dude. That was unbelievable. You make my job as a striker absolutely the easiest job in the world. And instead, he's like, yo, let's farm some aura, man. You know, let's farm some aura. And then he got himself a red card.
I love seeing Frimpong's face with him come over like,
Frimpong. Frimpong's reaction was so good.
And Slot, you got the veins in Slot's head, how angry he was.
Yeah. Like,
but as a Palace fan, I'm loving it.
You could hear it in the mic. I think Frimpong called him a dickhead.
Did he?
Yeah. It's like, what are you doing, you dickhead? You're on a yellow. Like, literally said it, yeah. I was just like, dear. No way. Anyway, like, you know, you can call me salty if you want, but, you know, after the week I've had as an Everton fan, thank you for indulging me, boys, in that little session hating on Liverpool. Thanks everyone. I needed that. I needed that. The derby never happened. Don't know what you're talking about.
That's superb. I quite like that, indeed. And yeah, Ekitike.
It's just content, mate. You know, we have a laugh on this podcast. You know, we're here for it. You know.
Well, yeah, Ekitike certainly wasn't laughing in that instance. So, as a decision to be made for such owners, God, what such an unnecessary action. Sandwich in between, a quick update on the public league. And we've got some fast starters in Matt and Adieri, both over 320 points each at the moment, with DJ in third spot plenty of movers and shakers in the early stages of this new campaign. Right, Rev, I'm going to go to you here because you were talking about how excited you are. You announced earlier that you've activated your wildcard and the game's changing.
Yeah.
Without trying to reveal too much of your side, give us more insight in terms of where your head is at with the game in general, your stance on DEFCON. What's on your mind?
Yeah, I think going into this season, I thought, DEFCON's nice. I thought, what a nice little bonus. It turns out, I think that this new addition to the game, I believe, is come game week 38, is going to be season defining. Me and Marcello, we talk about meta and the most effective tactics available, because we're both trading card game players. We love our strategy games. And I've seen across the board, and by the way, this isn't me criticizing, any other content creators. I love them all. I follow them all. I watch all of their podcasts, but most of the most famous content creators have had an awful start to the season. Apart from Nathan Bacon, by the way, props to the dude. He's having a great time, but he's doing something different, and that's fair play to him. But with all of the other content creators, they are content creators and have a huge following for a huge reason, in that historically they've done brilliantly at FPL. But Marcello will know what I mean by when I talk about this in things like Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, and Yu-Gi-Oh! The games go through these things called formats. There are format changes when a new set gets released or a new card happens. Do some work if you're watching that much content, right? Yeah, Evan, listen.
This FPL research is his work.
You know what, Evan? Like, I just want to just let this guy know that if he's saying Vickers don't work hard enough, he needs to tell the person that he lives with. He's married to a wonderful vicar called Laura, and she's amazing. But she doesn't work hard enough, apparently. But yeah, we've got to have our outlets, haven't we? For sure. No, much love, Evan, and much love to Laura as well. But this is a new format, is what I'm trying to say, and I feel like a lot of content creators are still trying to play with last format's rules and last format's decks in this current meta, and it's getting blown out by all of the new cards or the new players or the new rules. And so what I'm trying to say is that DEFCON is so much more than a nice bonus. It's season defining. Game
breaking.
It's game breaking. We use these terms, don't we, Marcello? Like when we look at certain cards and we go, oh, they're broken. Yeah, and we don't mean as in like they're physically, unable to work. We mean that they're too powerful. And I believe that DEFCON is maybe too powerful. And I'm looking at someone like James Tarkowski already, who has not failed to miss, his DEFCON contribution points yet so far. I'm looking at people like Senesi. I'm looking at the fixtures that Liverpool have coming up. And even though those fixtures are harder, I'm looking at someone like Virgil van Dijk because I know in those games he's going to have to defensively work a little bit harder. And therefore, he's going to at least get those 2 points. And over the course of 2 games, he might get clean sheets in those games and get extra points. But over the course of those 2 games, he's going to get the 2 bonus points in each game. 4 out of 5 of those games. And that's like getting an extra 2 assists. And, what midfielder can I think of that is going to get an assist every other game? I'm struggling.
Apart from Kudos, who's not going to score. But yeah, no one else, really.
Well, yeah, at least
costs like 2 million more.
At least not one that doesn't cost 10 million, right?
Yeah.
And we're sat here with the ability to go after these £6 million players who every other game are going to bag an assist and maybe even get you some clean sheet points. And because of the way the game has changed and the rules have changed, possibly even be more eligible than they've ever been for bonus points. So that's the start of my thesis, that's the start of this wildcard chat. Marcello, do you want to chip in with anything on my thoughts there before I reveal my team?
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense to me. I mean, you've got these players that are like, high up on the list, and what are they doing? They might have got one assist, but the DEFCON is just so reliable. Like,
yeah,
these, even like a striker isn't gonna score in every game, and when you've got 3 defenders who have hit DEFCON in 5 out of 5 games, that's 10 points. That's so reliable. Doesn't matter where your points come from in FPL, as long as you're getting the points, and we're all trying to get the most points at the end of the day. And this is the new deck to consider. So
it is.
I think one thing to look to consider as well. Some people are saying, these guys at the top of the defender points charts are the ones who have scored and got an assist. Yes, but it's only been 5 games, and you get a lot more points for goals.
But they can do that too.
By the end, yeah, exactly, and they can do that too. But by the end of the season, you will see the defensive cream rise to the top. The DEFCON cream go to the top because they're just so reliable. Like, if you get even 20 out of 38 games DEFCON, that's 40 points over the whole season, which is a lot of goals and assists. There's going to be no defenders who scores that many goals and assists.
No chance.
And the bonus point changes as well for strikers and midfielders. They get less bonus points when they score a penalty, or like, this is really hurting their chances of getting a bonus points as easily as they did last year. And like, the forwards are actually falling really far behind on the average points that they score. Even if like Mateta scores, he got booked, but even when he doesn't score, you might not pick up bonus, which is, it's not good when you want a striker to pick up loads of points, because they don't have any access to clean sheet points. Like, midfielders get 1 point. They don't have much chance to get DEFCON points. No strikers got the DEFCON 12 yet. So midfielders and defenders especially, there's just more points for them to get. They've got a higher floor and a higher ceiling.
Like, the fact that we see Caicedo right up there, like, he's, of course, like, and he's, by the way, he's chipping in with some attacking returns as well. But like, the fact that my guy is getting like 15 defensive contributions every game is nuts. He's an absolute machine. I'm just going to go to a couple of the comments, Marcello, mate. And we've got Colm. Shout out Colm, the legend. He's saying Grealish. Grealish is great. And he might get an assist every other game, which, you know what, for 0.5 less, you can get the chance of, two defensive points pretty much every week, and also the chance of a clean sheet, and also the bonus.
So instead of Grealish, who would you go? Like Caicedo, Anderson?
Yeah.
Any other DEFCON midfielders that you've been looking at?
I think just Caicedo. We've got Eben, who says Semenyo is the closest at the moment, and I agree that there are always going to be exceptions to the rule, right? Which are players who are in great form, but also, I've just seen that Eben's even mentioned it here as well. Is that he got DEFCON points anyway? He's pressing from the front and he's working hard for his team, and I love that. But
Semenyo costs 7.7.
But he's only 7.5 mil. Whereas someone like Salah, is what, like 14 mil, something like that, 14.5 mil. Cole Palmer 10 mil, Saka 9.8 mil. To have Salah in your team, you could either have him or you could have 3 Arsenal defenders. you know?
Yeah.
Eben also says, I hope Senesi is in your draft. Mate, I can't be raving this much about DEFCON and not have Senesi. Yeah, I will reveal Senesi is for sure in there. He's going to...
And just a question for you and for chat. Do you know who had like the most DEFCONs last year? Who was really, really high for DEFCON?
Yeah, let's see if the chat know this. Okay, who was the highest last season for DEFCON? You know, if
And it's
DEFCON
not
applied.
actually someone who's still in the league now.
Yeah. Does anyone know?
Could I have a guess while I'm sort of in the background trying to sort out captain's corner as best
No,
I can?
Chaza, it's not Darwin Núñez. No.
Is it Ben May from Brentford?
I think it was. Do you want to guess? Rev?
Okay, so I was going to say someone. He was the Liverpool midfielder, but it's not, is it? Because he's still there.
It is
Yeah.
Defender who's now left.
Defender who's now left. Eben says Milivojevic, but he's still there, isn't he? Yeah.
Yes.
Oh no, Milenkovic.
Not Milenkovic. I think Colm's got it though.
Huijsen.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's why I think he's kind of gone under the radar. And who's taken Huijsen's place?
Senesi.
There you go.
And how much is Senesi?
4.8.
4.7, 4.0.
Just
8.
what an absolute FPL gem.
Yeah. So guys, before we get into my team, Chaza, can you bring my screen up then, and we'll walk you through my wildcard team. So chat, I'm just going to be silent for a bit, and Marcello, I'm going to just let you comment. Chat, I'm going to let you comment. I'm not going to say anything for like a minute. You'll be glad to know. But here you go. Wildcard active.
Here we go. Donnarumma instead of Raya. I like it. I think Donnarumma was one of the best goalkeepers in the whole world. I think he won the trophy at the Ballon d'Or. I like it. Easy fixtures for the next 3. Then it gets a bit harder. Then from 13, they're good again. Virgil, solid. Can't say anything wrong with Virgil. Saliba, love Virgil. Double Arsenal still with Gabriel. Oh, they've got a tasty run. I think double Arsenal is good. Most people go Raya, but you've got that attacking threat there as well. You could say you're spending a bit much in defense, but maybe that's how to play it this year. Tarkovsky, DEFCON Monster, Senesi, as you mentioned, DEFCON Monster. Both of their fixtures, I think, are kind of good. Senesi's fixtures go really good from like 12, 13. Everton fixtures are good from now for a bit as well. Yeah, you're going to score loads of points, aren't you? I mean, I'd be confident with that defense if that was my defense. Okay, next up, we've got Semenyo, who's just been unreal this season. Good fixtures. You're not going to get rid of him before 13. You're not going to get rid of him before 18 wildcard, I don't think. Rangers plays for an amazing team and is such good value. To have someone that has played every minute of Man City's games this season, and he costs as little as he does, he's definitely been underpriced. Not sure what FPL did with him, but yeah, he's really good. And with the fixtures coming up from now for the next 3, and then from 13, you could get him out if you wanted to before 13 for a spell, but you're probably going to gain some value of him over the next few years as people realize how good a pick he is. And you're going for 3 up front. Isak, well, it's worked out better for you now this week. So Isak is nice. I guess he's probably going to start against Palace. Will he be starting beyond that? Well, he might have a rest the next game when Ekitike comes back. But then by the time the next international break is done, and then by the time 13 comes, and by the time Salah goes to AFCON, he's going to be everyone's team, I think. So, Yeah, you're in very early there, hoping for some price rises before. Hopefully, you won't get any price falls in case people panic. Gyökeres, really like. He does well against the poor teams, it seems. Maybe not so well against the bad teams, but Arsenal playing a lot of poor teams in their fixture run coming up now, and then maybe you can reassess after like 11. And it's got a nice price point to go down to basically any other striker, because I don't think anyone else is more expensive than those three. So Gyökeres down to anyone if you ever feel like coming off him, which you might not. And Haaland is just, he's got more XG than I think half the teams in the league. So yeah, he's a good time to own him. Dubravka, very good pick, only 4 million. Caicedo, oh, you're not even starting Caicedo this week. I love Caicedo pick. I wish I picked him at the start. And yeah, he's just going to be so reliable. You know, he's going to get 4 points every game. If they keep a clean sheet as 5, he's just incredible. He's probably going to score some bangers. Palmer's out. He might have to force to, get some assists or goals. I think I kind of want Caicedo. Fixtures are a bit tough now, but they get a lot better in Gameweek 9, I think, which is soon. But like you said, he's going to get 4 anyway. Have you used your bench boost?
Nope.
So Stack is good for a bench boost in 8 or 9, as they play weaker teams then, which pairs well with Dubravka, who I think they play each other. So you could either go 8 or 9. King, I don't think is great for a bench boost in 8 or 9. So you could potentially downgrade one of the Arsenal ones to a cheaper one and get a slightly better mid if you wanted to have a better bench boost in 8 and 9. That's the only
bench boosting in 15 anyway. I think we're both kind of agreed on
bench boosting in 15
on a game week 15 bench boost maybe.
I would look into bench boost 8 and 9 and then see if King can be upgraded and if you're happy to part with any of the defenders. Say another defender, say you are happy to go with Richards or Anderson. They don't have the best fixtures. Or even a Rodon for Leeds if you wanted a Rodon in. So say like Saliba to Rodon. And then if you were to upgrade King to someone, maybe an Anderson who might get DEFCON, or maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
I would just have that thought before you finalize. But otherwise, it's not very template, is it? It's not very...
No, it's very different.
It's quite different. It'll help you stick out. I like the Donnarumma pick.
Yeah. So the logic behind the Donnarumma pick is I can either go Vardiol and Raya or Donnarumma and Gabriel, and I just don't want to play Pep Roulette with Man City outfield players.
Yeah.
I
mean, even Vardiol, last season he was amazing, but he wasn't playing centre back. He was playing like Cucurella in the box, scoring goals and attacking mid, where he wasn't playing centre back like he is this year. And also, he was picking up a lot of bonus points last year because I think they didn't have many actual FPL defenders playing. So he ended up getting a lot of the defensive points, whereas the other midfielders who were playing in defence were not getting the defensive bonus points because they were midfielders in game. So he wasn't. He was more locked to get free bonus, whereas now there's quite a few good defenders playing for Man City. So I would stay away from Gvardiol, and I prefer Donnarumma.
Yeah, for sure. I think just to comment about what you said about there being a lot of money in this defense, I think that's objectively correct. I can't think of any other midfielder that I want. Maybe Ndiaye from Everton.
I like Ndiaye. I think he's great.
But even then, it's
but that doesn't help your bench boost 8 either. So
yeah, but also it's like he might get a penalty once every 4 games and then an assist once every.
I think he's going to score loads of goals. To be honest,
I hope he does, bro. Like
I didn't think he was that good at the start of the season, but the 5 games he's had, just the way he plays, like he's kind of got that energy. I think it's just
I've got Reinders and Caicedo and Semenyo, like, and so the idea is I've got like the number 9 from the 3 best teams in the league, the best defenders in the game.
Yeah.
Midfielders are a bit poo at the moment, but Reinders, Caicedo, and Semenyo can carry in those positions. Like, there is some chat in the chat about people wanting me to bench Gyökeres and play Caicedo.
Well, you said it was only going to be 1-0 to Arsenal, so he's not going to haul. If he wins 1-0, Saliba and Gabriel might still get all the bonuses over him, even if he scores.
Yeah, that's valid. All right, okay, chat. I'll listen to you guys. Let's save that. Cool. Like, I don't mind benching.
It looks great, doesn't it?
It looks incredible. Like, I can't think of another midfielder that I really, really want.
I think it's less about another midfielder, more about King not delivering, but I guess
but like if I'm having to rely on King, like I've still got Stack and Gyökeres before I ever consider King. King's just there to make up the numbers, In
the template, who have you not got? I guess it's just João Pedro you'll be going up against. Talk to me about João Pedro.
João Pedro, not necessarily terribly scared of him. What I am tempted to do is to go Gyökeres to João Pedro, and then, like, honestly, if I could play 6 or 7 defenders, I would. Like, I would. Like, I don't have enough defender positions right now to, have fun with. I would play. I would go for a third Arsenal attacker. A third Arsenal defender in David Raya.
Oh gosh.
Timber's a good shout if you chop down trees. Timber, yeah.
Oh, right, that. Rev, no, great team. It's like an upside down Christmas tree, mate. That's what I'm quite impressed about. And all the best for the 5 at the back. If there's one pick I actually quite like, it's not even on the field. I like the Anton Stark pick from Leeds. Yeah. He looked really good on the weekend. I think he could be on the rise.
For sure.
I actually think also, are you overrating strikers and underrating midfielders a little bit? I feel like, I guess you got the 3 number 9s and you can
what midfielders?
Well, you're also missing Bruno,
my defense
Bruno and
cover.
Salah. If you're like, I need to get Salah in, what's your route to Salah? I guess you have to sell.
If I need to get Salah in, then we're all wrong again.
Okay.
And
then Bruno,
I've got Haaland.
I think most of the sacrifices.
Bruno, they're not going to play against 10 men every week. And Man United are still Man United.
But he's a DEFCON monster on penalties as well.
Yeah, but Caicedo's a DEFCON monster as well, and he costs £3.5 million less.
I think Bruno is going to be your biggest threat in this team, which isn't too bad.
I'm going to say it here and now. I think Caicedo can match him.
Okay.
Over the course of the season, for sure. Caicedo can match him, in my opinion, based on what I've seen so far.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, and Sandri, by the way, I'm going a little bit different. Sandri says, "Chat, I'm on Wildcard. Any suggestions?" This is my Wildcard. I'm going all in on DEFCON, kind of like as an experiment. I'm swimming out into those deep waters, so yous don't have to, and yous can see what happens. You can see what happens to me. Will I sink or will I swim? Is it safe beyond the reef? I will find out for you, and I will let you know if I'm drowned and battered by next week.
I don't think you'll be drowning. That's really good. Good stuff, mate.
That is just incredibly poetic. To round out your recap. on your team
The,
selection.
the logic is there, isn't it? Like the logic is there at least, and the reasoning is good. Will the execution and the reality match up to the thing? Well, it's FPL, so the answer is probably no. So, but yeah, no, thanks guys, and thanks chat as well for your lovely suggestions.
Brilliant stuff, Rev. Right, we've got a few more items to absolutely log jam and hammer down the throats till the end of the pod. Now, there was a comment just quickly before I go on to Reidy's side, then we're going to Marcello's, and just to flick the switch between the two, we'll check the transfer traffic and then straight to my team, then Captain's Corner. Now, Anna, thanks for dropping by with your comment about the Invitational Cup. Now, we don't quite have an Invitational Cup, but we do have a public league that you are more than welcome to join. And thank you, Jack, from behind the scenes to make sure this is pointed out. QUMI4T. And if you're good enough, then you'll either have your name shown on the screen, which is what happens when you're at the top of the league, or I may mention you. We shall see. But Anna, that is the go fix for that. Okay. The man who loves... I don't know what's up with his horse riding endeavours these days, but he's unfortunate to not make another appearance for another week. But here's his side with 2 free transfers. He sent it through quite late on. He said he might do Cody Gakpo to Phil Foden and roll the other very briefly.
I like the Phil Foden pick.
I like Foden. He's on fire.
And triple captain is activated.
I'm sure he'll put the vice captain on Foden by the time that transfer's done.
I think this team gets well better next week as well when he can play Lacroix and Livramento as well. And he can go 5 at the back as well. Like, that's going to be so nice.
Who does he bench? Kudos and Rangers.
Kudos and Rangers, probably, yeah. See, this is what I mean. Like, I would rather play defenders than midfielders right now.
Yeah. Well, we have to sell Chris Wood soon.
Yeah. The triple captain Haaland is excellent. This is a great game week to be able to do that.
Hopefully he has money to go Wood to Gyökeres next week.
Yeah, because otherwise he'll be struggling, I think.
Although I'd probably do it this week because judging by that game in Europe with Wood not starting and Jesus getting 2 goals, it looks like Wood's being cycled out of the Forest team. Big Ange doesn't like Big Wood up front.
It's harsh. No, Ange loves Big Wood, but we're talking about Chris. Sorry, we're talking about Chris. Yeah, sorry.
Get rid of Wood.
Listen, you can't just get rid of Wood. It needs a lot of players. And...
do whatever you need to do and get rid of that Wood.
Well, so that is his team. Now, Marcello, you've got a big case to answer for because based on what your subtitle is tonight, you have used not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4. You've waited so long. In fact,
patience has been immense.
6 weeks and an international break.
Patient is done.
And these 5 moves. The floor is officially yours.
Well, I actually only made 4 moves so far, but I will make 4. So my first transfers of the season.
Oh, they are gorgeous, mate.
Haaland Watkins out. Get Watkins out of here. 2-2-2-2. What are you now? Did you see that meme on Twitter?
2-2-2.
So Haaland's in for Watkins, and I had to say bye to Salah for Semenyo. A bit too late. I should have done it in game week 2 when Palmer picked up an injury. But I think Semenyo's got plenty more games to come. And even like when he faces Man City in a few weeks, I think I'm going to hold him until really nice fixtures in 13. Then I also had enough of Sells. So Sells out, Raya in. Forest were amazing last season. Loads of clean sheets. They just park the bus and hit teams on the counter with Elanga. Times have changed. Angie is in. Forest are going to play like Spurs last year. And how many clean sheets did Spurs keep last year? Fuck all. So, Raya is in. Now
Yeah.
we have also Mario to Gabriel. I don't care if he's playing Sunderland this week. The same as Sales. I've had enough. Give me a Gabriel price rise tonight. He's going to be brought in by so many people when they play West Ham in 7, Burnley in 10. So I'm just getting in early. Newcastle have looked a bit toothless up front. Is Watermud even starting? Have they even started any of their players
No idea.
recently? Yeah, so it's a good time to play Newcastle as a defender, I think. So hopefully Gabriel and Raya can do what they do best and keep some clean sheets. And yeah, that's
I'm creasing at one of the comments. Twackins.
That's good.
That's
and
brilliant.
that's exactly how I felt. I think I posted the other day that I haven't woken up with a smile all season until I sold Watkins and then Haaland came in.
Is there a 5th transfer that you've made, by the way?
There
Or
is
it
going
just
to
the
be.
4?
Maybe we can do it now. Or maybe
okay.
Well, I don't know.
Live.
No, I'm not going to do it now. No, not live. But this is my team. Who would you transfer out here?
Well,
Well,
Cole
you're doing
Palmer,
it now.
clearly.
Yes. And then, so if we do Cole Palmer out, there's a few options here. So Palmer out, I've got 10 million. We can either get any midfielder you like.
Get Anthony from Burnley.
You could get Anthony. I thought about
Or
him.
you could have some sense.
You could get Saka, who's coming back now, and Madueke is injured. Bruno says, Carl, I've already got Bruno. Caicedo, now this is the thing. So I can go for an expensive one, and die as well. Really nice. Or next week, I can do Krupi out, put in Gyökeres, and then he plays West Ham next week, followed by Fulham, Palace, Burnley, Sunderland. And then I've got Gyökeres for this nice 5-week run. But then that only leaves me how much? 6.2. So we can go to affordable. I didn't realize that was a thing until the start of this season. Is that new? And then we've got these guys at 6.2, not forwards, midfielders. So here's our options. Anthony, Caicedo, Enzo. What's Salah doing there? Anthony, Caicedo, Stax, Zubi, Reinders, Gravenbach, Cullen, Minter I've looked at. So for me, it's between Caicedo, Reinders, Minter maybe. Not really. So if I want to bring Gyökeres next week, who would you go for here?
Nicholas Jackson.
What? You know what Eben has just said, and I think it's an actual shout. Eben's just said Declan Rice, but I think he's just out your price range. Isn't he 6.5?
Yeah, he's just out. I think it would be Ndai at 6.5 as well, but I do love the Rash. You've got Zubi
Rice
here.
Is a good shout.
Zubi's played every minute of all of Arsenal's games. But his scores are a bit hit and miss. So 450 minutes played.
Yeah.
He did haul in that, but are you really looking for a 2-2-1-3-5-16? Or if you look at
I think it's Caicedo, mate.
Caicedo 5-8-4-12-4. This is a position that I've got King. I like my 5 at the back. I've got 3 attackers. I'll bench King. I might have to bench this player or Anderson. So one of these two might get benched sometimes. So, you pick Reinders as well. He's kind of similar. 10, but then you've got 2, 2, 3, 9. If I bench him against Arsenal and lose 9 points, I'll look like Rev. So maybe it's better just to go with the nice and consistent Caicedo. You're going to hit DEFCON. 4 points at a minimum, even against the big teams.
Sorry, just FPL have a pint again. I think they've got a mission to just absolutely make me laugh. They've signed Dracula on loan. He doesn't like crosses. Get out. Get out. Oh, that's so. He said he doesn't like crosses either. Yeah. No, I got it, mate. I got it. Brilliant. Sorry, I'm so distracted by the chat today. They're
So
absolutely
yeah,
on
it's between Reinders, who's got, Burnley, Brentford, Everton, and then Leeds, West Ham, Sunderland, and he's also got a price rise tonight, or it's Caicedo. So do I go Reinders or Caicedo?
It's
a bit.
Caicedo, mate. It's Caicedo.
I think if I go Reinders, I need to do it tonight. Otherwise, I miss the price rise.
I think Reinders.
It's not an easy decision.
No, it's not.
And also, Caicedo has kind of had his easy games with West Ham, Fulham, Brentford. Upcoming, they've got, Brighton, Liverpool, Forest. But then it gets easier, like we said. But is that a bad
an easy
thing?
game now? Change my mind. Yeah.
It's probably good for him as a DEFCON player.
Yeah.
And then that run
So
there.
I mean, like you can play these players in the hard games.
Yeah.
Like they're even great in their bad matchups.
So that's an option. But also something I can do is not trip. Oh, and also I'm triple captain in Haaland.
Nice.
And talking of West Ham being scared of crosses and an Everton fan, do you think this is a good idea?
Yes.
Keane's almost scored a header in basically every game this season.
He has.
And he's playing
and I
West
don't know how
Ham.
he's missed them, yeah.
He's playing Dracula's West Ham, so...
Go on, do it for the laugh. Go on.
Yeah, just do it. Why not?
Haaland back injury. If he doesn't play for some reason...
Michael Keane triple
I've
captain.
seriously thought about it. Not even as a laugh. DEFCON.
Yeah, no, I laughed,
goal.
but now I'm like, hold on.
Yeah. Also, the other option is I can just wildcard this team and then bring in a perfect wildcard team and keep 5 free transfers and then keep rolling or just using the transfers until 13. So, it's big decisions to be made the next 2 days.
Yeah, because you can still hit that wildcard button and keep 5 transfers.
Which was my plan if Haaland was going to be out today. But looks like he's training.
Yeah.
I'm going to miss my 5 free transfers, I can't lie.
I think either way, I think you have to... Like, I would be looking to get Palmer out the team because there are price rises to catch, and also he might drop in price as well.
Oh no, he's going out probably tonight, to Rangers.
Okay, fair play. Yeah, no, I like it, man. I like it a lot. We've got someone called Nathan K in the chat. I think we've had Nathan on a few times. Good to have you back, mate. He's got a really important question for us. Nathan, just confirm that you're still with us, mate, in the chat, if that's all right. Sorry, we haven't missed your question, but we were just explaining our team there, and also some moderator. If you can kick out the bot from the Twitch chat, that'd be great. But he's got Team A and Team B here. He's got where's team B? So it's Giyu, Zavi, and Bumo, and Dai, and then Team B versus Gyökeres, Caicedo, Doku, Dewsbury Hall.
I reckon Team B.
Yeah, and I think you could even go someone other than Doku, if I'm being devastatingly honest. Yeah, out of those two, mate, Team B. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, there you go. And if anyone else has got any questions in the chat, just let us know, and we'll be happy to give our really poor advice.
Let's dive on. Right, transfers, traffic. Super briefly, is there any particular surprise in the transfers in or out column?
Transfers are getting better and better each week, I think. All the people who don't really know what they're doing, bringing in Ballard in Gameweek 2, have kind of run out of transfers, and now people are starting to have a bit more of a data set to base their opinions on, I think. Yeah. And these look very sensible to me.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of wish
Sure.
I brought Senesi in.
I do think Ekitike is a little bit of a surprise.
He's not playing.
I know he's not playing, but he's not injured. He's just suspended for one game.
Yeah.
So, the fact that, I'm if I'm being honest, I look at a lot of the teams around me, and a lot of the teams have quite deep benches. So, that should allow you to just go, all right, well, bench him this week, play him next week. But
I think people are still scared of playing 5
Yeah.
at the back. That's what it is.
yeah. And I think people are scared of the fact that Isaac is coming through now as well. And maybe Ekitike isn't too long for this world as an FPL asset. But
such a shame. He's been so good.
yeah, I'm not surprised at all by any of these transfers. I think Chris Wood as well is a little surprising. Not that people are transferring him out, but the fact that he's had quite a I wouldn't say a massive drop off, but he's clearly not been performing in terms of FPL. So yeah.
Okay, nice one. The Sanchez one is just interesting because I think he's still playing this weekend, right?
Yeah, I don't agree with that either. I don't think he should be going. Maybe people thought that the red card meant that he was missing a game, but he actually served his suspension in the cup. So that's the only thing I can think of there. I mean, the fixtures aren't great, but then, like we said, they pick up in 9 again. So he's not quite a Cells where the whole plans have changed and he's never going to keep a clean sheet again.
Yeah.
I do feel kind of bad for selling Cells this week against Sunderland, but
Cells.
Yeah, I hope Sunderland score.
Sunderland have been doing all right. They don't look awful. So
right, this is the team 3-4-3, 2 flagged currently on the bench at the moment.
Okay,
3 transfers.
3.4 mil in the bank. He's rich. Oh, we're getting some live transfer action, guys. Oh,
I don't know. Well, I've kind of planned it out during the week.
No, you need to do it for the pod. Yes. By the way, yes. Yes, for the I can't even pronounce his name. The 4 million.
Ukulele, yeah.
Yeah, ukulele. Yeah. Ukulele and baby reindeers. Yeah.
And die. Oh, I would do and die.
Yeah.
I mean, Greenish is good too. He's doing it. Oh my God, he's done it.
Oh, damn. Haaland and Salah in the team.
Oh, that's nice. He's going to put his triple captain on.
He's going to do it live. You're not going to triple captain the Nordic midfield.
What?
Elaborate, please, my good Australian friend.
Might as well wildcard. That is basically a wildcard team.
There's something so intriguing. I do think City win and Haaland get his goal, but I don't think Burnley is the most scapegoat weakest opposition in the league. I genuinely believe it's West Ham United sometime down retract. I don't reckon he will score big. That's all.
Okay. I think statistically, Burnley are the worst defense in the league.
I mean,
if you like numbers.
Haven't West Ham conceded 13 this season?
Maybe it's XG or shots or chances
in terms
of
expected data.
Yeah,
but
okay.
I'm not sure how much faith I'm putting in expected data at the moment. Like last season, it really threw me off, especially for expected goals conceded. I'm not sure how we're measuring those things is necessarily I think teams are getting better at defending higher XG chances, making the higher XG chances lower XG. If that makes sense.
These are Haaland XG chances now.
Yeah.
Burnley are the worst in the league for X goals conceded and have conceded 13 big chances this season. They've conceded 6 goals from their 2 away games this season. Who else are you going to use your triple captain on and why? Because I'm sure you must have a plan.
I reckon I might hold it later on. Yeah.
Is it the back injury as well? Do you think he'll get like 60 minutes and come off? I think that's more of a reason for me to not use it.
No. Look, triple captain, mate. All I care about and my biggest concern is who I'm fielding between Rodon and Moonons. Right? I haven't thought about another chick.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. Anyways, I'm going to do this captain's corner segment, and I'll see if I can get convinced when I get to the end of the segment. How does that sound? Because you wouldn't believe it. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 options. So I know you guys said stick around for Rev's wildcard, but you would want to stick around for this. Yeah, right. He's got already more than 800,000 transfers in early in Haaland. And maybe I'm swaying against the tide here. 20 shots in the box and 10 big chances are both league leading totals this season. Twice more than any other player on the shots, on the big chances front. Excluding for Antoine Semenyo, who's on 6. Well, we may as well talk about Semenyo now. He's the only player to have had 7 price rises since the start of this season. Top scoring FPL midfielder with 3 goals and 2 assists. Semenyo's 12 shots in the box and 6 big chances are top amongst all midfielders, which is a double less than the actual Norwegian I just mentioned. Back to the top. Okay, Marcello. He is second most transferred out player in the game. 418,000 managers have said, no, you're no good now because you've only returned 30 points in the first 5 weeks. 2 goals, 2 assists. But he's only blanked once, which is the same as Haaland, despite having 16 less points. Plus, he's managed 8 goals and 5 assists in his 15 appearances against Crystal Palace. You may want to think twice. Fernandez, away at Brentford, he hasn't visited them yet, but he visits a B side who have conceded 10 goals in their first 5 games, which is not 1, not 2, the third most of any side in the league. Fernandez also scored twice, supplied 2 double-digit hauls, albeit only scoring 26 points and created 15 chances, which is a league high across any other player. Jack Grealish as your proper curveball, running it back to the Aston Villa days. So he had 4 assists this campaign. He's created 13 chances since game week 2, which is the most of any other player in the game since that point. And the Hammers have conceded the most goals of any side with 13. Last one, Mohamed Kudus, 7 points last week away at Brighton. And boy, did he look good. And the last time Spurs scored at home in the league, he managed to assist with a cheeky bonus point on top. However, this is a very intriguing stat. Today's the 25th of September, 2025. Since the 18th of September, 2010, Tottenham have only beaten Wolves at home twice. Mind-boggling, I know. But will they produce a mind-boggle performance come the late Saturday kickoff? Intriguing. I'm going to let the crew back in for our final confirmation calls on the armband. Look, guys, I haven't decided, all right? There you have it. Cheers, Tut.
Yeah, nice one, Chaza. I think we'd be a little bit remiss to go without the Nordic meat shield. But
Kudos is an interesting shout as well. I haven't really spoken about Spurs. I feel like they're not in anyone's team, and maybe they should be. And also, Newcastle have not been in anyone's team. When do we start picking them? Maybe game week 13.
Yeah, game week 13 for them, isn't it? I think, ultimately that's...
Seems like a bit of rotation in the midfield doesn't help. Big Dan Burn. Yeah.
Yeah, the FDR is showing for Newcastle.
Not too high.
Maybe game week 10. You could bring in Newcastle players, like if you want to avoid
West Ham.
Like if you can bench them for the Man City game 2 game weeks later. But I think game week 15 is realistically when we're maybe looking at Newcastle assets.
Yeah, then they have Burnley, Sunderland, Chelsea, Man U, Burnley again.
yeah. And even then, Wolves and Villa after that is just a great run for them. So
Wow, this is how do they play the same fixtures in 15 and 19 are the same fixtures?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a short turnaround, isn't it?
But isn't halfway point in the season?
Game week. Oh, yeah.
Shouldn't there be one more?
There you go. Yeah, on the fixture front, the twists and the turns. But we'll cross that bridge when the time comes. But that does it for game week 6. And I just want to say, this was really good. It was more than Miriam this week and more than merrier. Let's put it that way. So thank you, chat, for coming along. Great vibes as per usual. Heavily carried by the Rev Naissance in full flight. And, of course, Cello, Spreadsheet, Goddess, Messiah. Here we come. There we land. Right, catch you guys. Well, actually, one last thing. Rev and Marcello, thank you.
Thank you. I just also want to say, eat shit, Jack. Yeah, boom.
Any other final words, Marcello?
When are we next on stream?
I reckon it's Friday.
Yeah, next Friday. Hopefully Reidy can join us as well then. Yeah, just for people watching at home, Reidy can't really do Thursdays that much in general. So, you know, we might have to look at a little rescheduling so we can include our favourite person from Runcorn. You know, I'm not going to call him a Scouser because he doesn't quite count. But yeah.
Righto. That does it. All the best, everyone, with your
cheers, everyone.
Wildcards, or bringing someone that's got a back injury in. Don't be like me, who doesn't live in performance to moves. But catch you guys next week.